So family, listen, just wanted to give you this quick kingdom nugget on today by way of a thought. Who's influencing your life? Is it Christ? Is it culture? Or is it the church? Think about that. I gave you 3 C's. Is it Christ? Is it culture? Or is it the church? Why do you say that? Culture has a way of leaning in on us and influencing us sometimes in a negative way. Culture may say things are okay, or it's kosher to do this or that. The church has a standard. The church has a code that may very well go against culture. But think about this. It may go against Christ's way or the King's way. See, here's what I've discovered. Culture operates within a certain system and a realm. The church operates within a certain system, parameters. But then Christ operates according to the standards and principles of the kingdom. And every now and then, all 3 of them may very well be distinctly different. And so you have to realize, I've got to make the decision that when I'm faced with a pivotal point in my life, am I going to lean into Christ's way, culture's way, or the church's way? And here's what I want to encourage you by saying. If Christ's way is different from the church, stick with Christ. If Christ's way is different from culture, stick with Christ. Culture's way change. The church's way change. And when I say church, I'm not talking about church as God intended. I'm talking about what we know now, the way we've developed things. But church as God intended is Christ's way. Remember when Jesus shows up in the gospel, the Bible says he walks into the temple and he kicks the table over. They were doing some things that were going against what the king intended for his house. And so sometimes church do things that Christ wouldn't do. Oftentimes culture does things that Christ wouldn't do. And when you're faced with those moments, you got to decide, I'm going to stick with Christ, because culture changes and sometimes the church changes. Let's keep building the kingdom, family. Let's do it one person at a time. Stick with Christ, especially when Christ's way goes against culture and the church. Let's build.